Arsenal v Millwall, FA Cup, third round, January 1988. Millwall hooligans were involved in their third high-profile incident of the decade on 9th January 1988, when in an FA Cup tie against Arsenal at Highbury, 41 people were arrested for rioting after the Herd and the Millwall Bushwackers clashed. South London copper James Bannon was ordered to infiltrate Millwall's mob in the 1980s when violence on the terraces could be deadly. A former undercover police officer who infiltrated a notorious football hooligan gang has told of one of the most dangerous moments of the operation. James Bannon successfully infiltrated the firm seen by many as one of the most violent firms at the peak of football hooliganism in the 1980s. Speaking to Lad Bible TV, he recalled, "There were 15 of us surrounded by about 8,000 Arsenal supporters. In their end, the North Bank, Highbury. The Millwall hooligans tried to provoke a response by singing their notorious 'No one likes us, we don't care' chant. And as I looked around, I thought, I'm going to die here. It went really quiet before one of the Arsenal supporters singled me out because I was the smallest and youngest of the Millwall gang. But as the Arsenal fan ran at me, the leader of the Millwall's firm, a burly pub landlord, stepped in and knocked the attacker out cold so hard that he almost did a somersault. It was so bad that Arsenal and Millwall supporters alike gasped as the man hit the unforgiving concrete terraces. But then an absolute free-for-all ensued, with the Millwall supporters completely surrounded by vengeful Arsenal fans. The one thing that you learn from this is that you never go down. Whatever you do, you go down, and you are completely and utterly fucked. The melee spilled onto the pitch, and I was briefly nicked before managing to wriggle free and blend in with the rest of the Millwall crowd. From that moment, I had proved himself. I was accepted by the brutal thugs who ran one of British football's most feared hooligan gangs. But once you're on the inside, getting out from the mob proves to be the most dangerous mission of all. Millwall fan Dave told us, that was a mental day from start to finish. Met up at the Charlie Chaplin at the Elephant, then moved on to Archway where we walked down to Holloway Road. Was going off all over the place. I got put on my arse when a bunch of Gooners came piling out of a bookies at us on Holloway Road. We had a good go as they also came out of the side streets nearby, had another bash at them further up the road and backed them off. Inside the ground we took 3 sides, including a number in the North Bank, kicking off all over the place. Some of our lot were pure evil, which led to the Arsenal having to be evil as well. But we got crushed in the clock end. Remember them opening another section of terrace which was like a release valve, but not before Plod started swinging at those dads lifting their kids over the wall to avoid being crushed down near the corner terrace. That's when it rained coins down on Plod. Then the police steaming into the crowd where women and children were standing in order to attack individuals they identified from the touchline. Afterwards we came unstuck at Highbury Corner when the ginger one wouldn't listen to others and led us down the road into a complete ambush and hammering. If we had waited mobbed up for them to come to us, I reckon it would have been a lot more even. Numbers won it, but most of us stood but took a kicking. Some didn't fancy it and bailed out. That was the first proper hiding I took with Wall. Was 19, a bit too keen and a bit naive. Arsenal fan Tony said, I used to go to the Arsenal with my pals and we decided to go in the North Bank that day. You could feel something in the air. It felt nasty. The clock end was properly rammed with 12,000 Millwall fans. In those days, Arsenal would only get about 30,000 people at games, so you would know the familiar faces. But there was this big mob of geezers in the North Bank I'd never seen before. I don't know if it was before or after kickoff, but there was this massive roar of Millwall. It just went bonkers and these blokes in the North Bank kicked off on anyone they could find. And this revved up everyone in the Millwall end too. Police moved in and dragged the Millwall out, but fighting broke out alongside the pitch and in the clock end and the seats between Arsenal and Millwall and the police, and just about everyone else. I remember walking back to Finsbury Park after the game, and every window in the Plimsoll Arms in St. Thomas's Road had been smashed up. It was carnage. I never saw anything like it before, and certainly not since, thank God. Millwall never took the North Bank, but they were certainly in it. We thank Dave and Tony for their recollections of the day's mad events. Millwall were obviously in the Arsenal North Bank, but it's quite clear they didn't actually take it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to help our channel grow and to give you notifications of future videos.